We're impacted! We are impacted! We're impacted! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted episode 143, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and basically wherever you listen to your favorite shows, we are there. I'm your host, Bison, and today I am joined, of course, by the one and only Joker. And I believe on the move, I think we've got Simply Steve on the move. But I'm sure he'll join us as soon as he can. But he's definitely here, guys. So we're going to have a three-man move as soon as we can. But hey, Joe and Sammy, I see in the background there. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm not bad, mate. We had a bit of I was just saying before we came on, had a bit of an issue with the freezer in the kitchen. I had to try and resolve that before I got on the show. That's why we're not late as such, but I literally came in and I'm like, boys, we need to go now. We need to go. It was a bit of a quick move there. We in go. So hopefully we're going to run nice and smooth, guys. We're going to run nice and smooth. Hey, I could see we've already got people joining us in the chat by the looks of it. So we've got Zach.
Bonus Steve. I can remember when it was just two guys pre-recording, doing character profiles, and that was like 2020 start of something massive. And I never thought, I hoped we'd be carrying on, but I didn't think we'd go anywhere near as brilliantly as we have done up to now. It's just been fun. It's been an amazing journey for these last 2 years, 3 years now. Even it's been incredible.
Pros. We're podcast pros now, brother. That's what we are.
I don't consider myself a pro. I'm nowhere near professional.
There you go. So we've got Bonus in the house, Bonus Baby's in the house. Obviously, Zach. We got Terrence in the house as well. Dragonstorm's joined us nice and early on. Nice to see you, my friend. And just quick answer to Dragonstorm. I think we may see Will Ospreay at Multiverse 2. You never know.
Yeah, I hope we do. That would be incredible. Get him versus Josh Alexander.
Mir is back. Mir is back under his name.
Yeah.
Which is good to see. But there we go. It's taken him 30 days and he's finally got himself a new phone. So that's fantastic. Good to see. And Terrence thinks that's sweet. So that's all good. But guys, we've had a hell of a week at Impact Wrestling. I think last week's Go Home show was fantastic. We've got a few things that we need to talk about over the next next hour or so. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll tell you what, let's get into the news, rumors, and impact recap of the week. Shall we get stuck into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. We've got a few people in the house. We might as well crack on, haven't we? Okay, so as always, I like to go through a lot of the things that we get in from Impact Wrestling now, because a lot of people, I think, some people don't realize how much stuff, how much content Impact are actually putting out now. We include things like Wild On, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. We had a snippet this week from when Taylor. Awesome, I love that one. So when Taylor Wilde had Soraya Beavis on the show, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks back. It's actually a really good one. Soraya is so out of the box, because obviously, there's the WWE version of Paige or Soraya, and then there's the real version of Soraya, and I prefer the real one. But go and check her out. I think, the actual. Here he is. Steve's arrived. Nice to see you, bud.
Cheers. Fingers crossed the internet holds up.
I think
back.
It will, I'm sure. Steve on the move. That's what we've got. And I think, she has come a long, long way. Would I like to see her turn up on Impact Wrestling? I bloody well would. I think
I would. I think it'd be great to see her. But I've watched a lot of her interviews outside WWE. She's so down to earth and will just say it as it is. She just doesn't.
Exactly.
She won't hold back if someone pisses her off.
And she's all the way. She's all the way from Steve's hometown of Norwich. That's where she comes from. Steve is.
Who's this?
Saraya. Saraya Beavis,
yeah.
of course, Paige from WWE. So, but anyway, I'm just saying she's on. She's from Kings, just outside Kings Lynn. That's right. Which is where Nick Aldis is from as well, because obviously he trained at is it WAW or whatever they're called, which is the Knight family. He trained with the Knights. So pretty cool, really, pretty cool. We've also recently started to get these little Impact Plus sort of snippet shows, I suppose you could call it. So we've got the latest one that they're doing now is Rough Cuts. Now I don't know if you guys have seen Rough Cuts, but you've got what's that? Bison Saraya is not related to Beavis of Beavis and Butthead fame. No, she's not. No. But TV from my mouth. So she is. Sorry, totally lost track. Anyway, Rough Cuts. Rough Cuts is something that they've just started bringing out on Impact Plus, I believe. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube Insiders. It might be on Ultimate Insiders. But this week it's about Killer Kelly. It must be on Insiders actually, or at least Ultimate Insiders, because I watched it, so it must be, and I don't have Impact Plus anymore. So it's really good. Like I say, this week's one is all about Killer Kelly. They had one previously about Steve Macklin. I'll tell you, these are really cool. I like them. Nice little insights. Give you a little bit more about, how these guys got into the business, how they turned up on Impact, that type of stuff. Just a bit like the one, my first day, that type of stuff as well. So, because of course that's another one we've got, which pops up every now and again as well. We don't always get that every week, but same with the Rough Cuts. We don't seem to get them every week, but we do get these little extra bonus stuff every now and again, and I think it's really cool. We also had this week the Joe Hendry food fight, and this week it was with none other than the leader of the design, Diener. Now I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I thought this was a lot of fun. It was like one of his favorite meals, some Canadian thing. It just sounded like basically like, I don't know. It sounded like chips and some kind of gravy and shit all over it. I don't know, gravy and cheese and stuff like that. But anyway, it looked really nice. I'm like, man, I could eat some of that shit.
Definitely take some of that.
Yeah, definitely. But Joe Hendry seemed to like it, and Diener liked it. But it was a really cool interview in the end. So go and check that out. We are a big fan of the Joe Hendry food fights. They're pretty good, I think. I really quite like them. There you go, poutine. That's it, poutine. Yeah. Thank you, Violet. I appreciate that. And Terrence is saying Ultimate Insiders is the best value in pro wrestling, Daddy. And I agree. I think Ultimate
You're not wrong.
Fantastic. I love it. I think there's so much good stuff on there. I'm so glad that I switched from Impact Plus to Ultimate Insiders, because
you could say you believe.
I believe, mate.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
We still believe in Joe Hendry, no matter what. But that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Thank you, Zach. Bison definitely kicks ass. Yeah. So I'm down with that. Now, we also had another edition of Callahan Uncensored. And this week, Joe's already messaged me about this. This week, it featured Fulton, the main event monster. Of course, we are dropping the madman now. It's just Fulton, the main event monster. We got to meet his dog or cat or something. I can't remember now.
His dog.
It was his dog, wasn't it? That he's had for like 11 years or something, 11, 12 years. We got to learn a little bit about his background. And I had no idea. Is it NCAA?
He went to 2 events at college and for pro wrestling, came 4th one year and then 3rd the next year.
Not pro wrestling, amateur wrestling.
Amateur wrestling, sorry. And then he went. He then went to try out for the Wrestling Olympics in the proper US team, and sadly didn't make the cut because the style from amateur wrestling at college level to amateur wrestling and for the Olympics was just a completely different ball game. And he was basically too tall for guys to work with. so he couldn't put on a good performance because he was too big to show off what he could do, basically. So
definitely
being such a tall monster in that event rather than make himself, it's just it's just a shame. And then Sammy Callahan's joking, I would have been brilliant then because he's
exactly. I thought this was a good show. I really like these Callahan Uncensored. I think they're really good. You get a good 30-minute show, and I think it's really good.
Yeah,
fantastic. Really enjoy it. And bonus, baby, bringing up the old 70s motorcycle cop show Chips. There, we do love a bit of Chips. Love it. That's what was it? I don't know. Poncherello. Is it Poncherello was one of them, or Ponce? I don't know. Something like Poncherello, I think it is. Not Poncerello. What am I thinking? Poncherello and something else. I don't know. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. Actually, we sometimes see it. It sometimes pops up on TV Gold here in the UK. So one of those sort of 70s shows that we do get to see every now and again. Do like it. Another one I used to like, right? While we're on 70s shows, right? I tell you what, who else used to love a bit of Lee Majors in The Fall Guy?
Never heard of it.
It rings a bell.
Are you absolutely kidding me?
No,
Lee Majors as the Fall Guy. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously, he was like, mate, honestly, his pickup truck was the dogs, right? He had the best pickup truck ever. It could fly, mate. This pickup truck could fly through the air. It was incredible.
Going overhead where Steve is now.
Definitely. Hey, Simon, thanks for joining us. Simon Plum in the house. There you go. It's another one. Bonus, baby. Starsky and Hutch. That was a classic. Again, remade as a film later on, which wasn't quite as good, but it did.
I like the
I'm
film.
right. I might be wrong. Did it feature
wasn't
someone like Christina Aguilera as Daisy Duke or something like that? I think it did.
I have no idea. I don't think it was someone that was just hired because she has big tits, basically.
That's right. You're right, Mir. Lee Majors was Steve Austin before Stone Cold. Very correct. Yeah. Very correct. He was the $1 Million Man. I think that's what he was. That's it. $1 Million. There's another classic. But I'm sorry. The Fall Guy was brilliant. You'd have loved the Fall Guy. He was a stunt man turned some kind of private investigator or something, or a bounty hunter or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was good. He was also married to someone really famous? Was he married to? Was it Farrah Fawcett? I think he was. I think it was Farrah Fawcett Majors. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm sure of it. She ended up with Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi, I think. I might be wrong, but anyway, there you go. You never know. Anyway, getting away from 70s hit shows. We could also, because there's loads we can talk about, some classics, but we also had an edition of the Walking Weapon Retro Review this week, which was featuring the match of Deanna Purrazzo versus Willow Nightingale, which was absolutely
such a great match. Such a great match.
Fantastic insight, obviously, from the Walking Weapon himself, and of course, Iceman was on there as well, which I thought was great. Anyway, another show well worth checking out, which is available to you guys. That's what I'm saying. All this extra content that a lot of people don't realise. There's loads of it. So you should go and check it out. There's loads. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what makes Impact Wrestling, right, so much better than your MLWs and your, and your GCWs and all this kind of stuff, where people turn around and say, "Oh yeah, MLW is way better. It's much bigger company than Impact." What a load of twat. It really isn't. You need to really look at what Impact offer extra to just their weekly show. That's what you need to look at. We get a weekly show, we get monthly specials, as well as four fantastic big pay-per-views every year. We get all these extra content. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you can watch
Come
it when
on.
you want. It's not like a weekly show where you have to tune in live each week.
What's this? What's Mir got to say there? What's he talking about?
Don't know.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
It is a bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wants to be lucky that J Bone's not in the house. Mind, to be fair, he could be in the house. Huh?
Yeah.
He could be.
He does have to tune in.
Just because he's not talking right now doesn't mean to stay behind the scenes. You never know. But anyway, so he is right, though, to be fair. If you want to keep going off subject, then...
Well, if that doesn't like a bit of casual chit-chat from now and then, you feel free to tune out.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, this week we have had some matches confirmed for this weekend's taping at Chicago Heat. Friday the 28th, we've got Speedball Mike Bailey versus Jonathan Gresham. And Jonathan Gresham versus the Rascalz. Obviously, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz. We've got ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay versus Rich Swann and Sammy Callahan. We've also got a three-way digital media championship match: Joe Hendry versus Yuya Uemura versus Kenny King. So that's all happening on the Friday. On the Saturday, we've got Alex Shelley versus Brian Myers. This looks like a real packed show, this one. Deanna Perrazzo versus Kaylin King. Of course, Taylor Wilde will be in her corner. We've got Eric Young versus Con from obviously the design with Diener. We've got Moose versus Kevin Knight, which I think that's going to be a cracker match.
That's going to be amazing.
But maybe that's a match to sort of kind of reboot Moose a little bit, possibly. We've got Trinity versus Taylor Wilde, with of course Kylie King in her corner, obviously. And we've got Bully Ray versus Black Taurus. Now we haven't seen Black Taurus.
Wow!
So it's going to be great to have Black Taurus back. I don't know. I think Bully Ray's going to get an ass kick in there, to be fair. Well, basically, Taurus was saying there that Bully Ray's going to get his ass absolutely destroyed on Saturday night. So we've got some amazing matches set up. And also, when you look at it, you can sort of kind of see where storylines are potentially going, which is good to see. But it'd be nice to see that we can obviously find out a bit more tomorrow night on how some of these sort of kind of things are set up. But if you look at what we've got tomorrow night, which we'll get to later, you'll see how some of these kind of match up to where the storylines are going. But yeah, so I just think if you're going to Chicago Heat, Friday and Saturday night, I think you're in for a hell of a 2-night TV tapings with that lot going on. So I look forward to seeing those over the next few weeks. I guess all of that will be building towards Emergence as well, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got Multiverse in between, but like you say, that's a one-off, isn't it?
Multiverse, they just treat as a one-off, don't they? They don't. They don't. It's just a completely separate thing, like they did with the Australian stuff. It's just completely separate. So that's good. So we've also had, and I love this as well, and I want to know your guys' thoughts on this, and everyone in the chat as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Jade Chung recently has been taking some amazing behind-the-scenes photographs, and I'll tell you what, if you haven't checked any of them out, they are so worth going and checking them out. They are available on the Impact website, so www.impactwrestling.com. Go and check it out. If you click on the news section, it'll all be under there. Some of them behind the scenes, the black and whites are great. There's just some fantastic photos. Have you guys looked at them?
So I've seen what she's put on Twitter and what Diana Prizzo and Trinity and that have shared on Twitter that she's taken, and it's just incredible. Some of this, she's so talented, and Jade Chung getting to add her passion for photography and alongside everything she's doing at Impact Wrestling is just so good.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And some of them are fantastic. I mean, I like what they've been doing. With the where they've been getting her to do like a great photo of someone. She signed it. She's like, they've got 15 prints. The talent signed it, and then they're basically auctioning them off on.
They've got Diana Price has got one going at the moment.
Yes, yeah. So I think they're all pretty awesome stuff. But there you go. There you go. The pic Jay took of Diana Prazzo with the violin player behind her was amazeballs. It was fantastic. I loved it. It's one of my favorite pictures. Basil better be careful now. I mean, Jay don't do the ringside stuff. She's doing behind the scenes. So come on, chill. Basil's perfectly safe. He's fine. He's doing good. And some of his pictures are amazing as well, to be fair.
They are, yeah.
But if you haven't checked them out, go and check them out. The whole, there's like 50, 60 photos from all the different sets of tapings. You've got, I think there's like 50, 60 were taken at the Slammiversary weekend. There's another 50, 60 were taken at Under Siege, and and all that kind of stuff. There's some great photos, so well worth going and checking those out if you haven't already. Now, here's the next thing. PW Insider has put out there that Impact will be making a major international announcement on Thursday morning. Now, for us, I'm assuming that'd be about midday-ish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It'd be around about midday, 1 o'clock-ish. It'd be early afternoon, I guess. Yeah, early afternoon. Yeah. Now the speculation is already rife. What we would like to see is Impact announcing their return to the UK. For a little mini tour.
Fingers crossed. I really do hope so.
Fingers crossed, guys. The fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you now, I will be titanium that motherfucker up. Right? I will be front row for every single show. So I will definitely be there, and I know quite a lot of people, quite a lot of fans from the UK will be straight in there, getting those front rows, which would be awesome. It'd be great to see some of the TNI UK or some of the TNI family there. From the UK, it would be great. We could have a little reunion. Yeah. Maybe we could do a meet up for a pizza or something before the show. I don't know. We could do something, but it would be cool if it happened. Fingers crossed. We don't know what it's going to be, but I think that would be really cool. That would be really cool, and it would explain them also, bringing subculture in, giving them a title. Obviously, you've got Killer Kelly. Half of the time, she's from Portugal, but she's from Europe. She's from Europe. Did a lot of her work in the UK, so it would be cool. Obviously, Joe Hendry's on board.
Giselle Shaw.
Giselle Shaw done. She's very popular here in the UK. So there's a lot of potential that we could
and
see.
They're kicking out Nick Aldis as well, so all the UK fans can rejoice there.
Exactly. No more Nick Aldis, thank Christ. But anyway, let's not talk about him. But yeah,
and
so
you never know. There's still time as well, so who knows what else they could bring in.
Yeah,
who knows? And it could be a great way of seeing some of the fantastic UK talent as well. And I've always said there's some such good talent here in the UK. That I'd love to see there. I really would. I'm not saying that. I wouldn't take the front row moniker away from Bill. I wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't. Yeah. I could be called something completely different. I'm sure we can come up with something.
There'll be a Lord Bison in the audience is enough as it is, I think. Everyone has
Lord
to bow down before the mighty Lord Bison. Yeah.
It's all that matters, mate. All that matters. But anyway. No, I am not an Aldis fan, Chris. Not in the slightest. As I said, I call him Nick Bordus. So, because he bores the shit out of me. But there you go. That's for another discussion. But it is excuse to hear this, and or it is good to hear that they're doing something. And maybe it's an international, maybe it's more of a, it might even just be a UK TV deal, or I mean, they could even be going to. I'll never be second row, mate. Even when I go to America, even when I spend $3,000 to go to see an Impact show in the US, I'm front row. Right, that's it. I'm front row, mate. There's no second row shit. No, that's not going to happen. But there you go. Ringside Bison. There you go. See,
Yeah.
Violet knows. She met me at a show. She knows I'm front row, and I Violet. I'm front row, baby. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit about last week on Impact Wrestling. So we started off with BTI. We had Alan Angels defeating Crazy Steve, who we hadn't seen for a little while, on BTI. Now, this for me was a classic warm-up, the crowd match. You know, it was lots of crowd interaction. Let's get the crowd going, ready for the big show. And they managed that. They certainly woke the crowd up. Let's put it that way. We then get, after Alan Angels gets the win, right? We then get Heath turning up out of the blue, no idea where he came from, and lays out Alan Angels with a wake-up call after the match. What were your thoughts? On that?
I enjoyed the match. The match was really entertaining, and it was good to see Crazy Steve again. You know, I've missed Crazy Steve, and him also being another Canadian. The fans are going to rally behind him regardless of Alan Angels. You know, even whether he's being babyface or heel, but Alan Angels is taking his character away out of now. He's come away from the design and made it brilliantly. You know, he's getting so much heat off for everybody, even when he's doing impressive stuff. It was a good match, but to have Heath come out of nowhere, I didn't think that at all. I know he put the roster on notice a couple of weeks ago, but that just seems like this disappearing into nowhere. So it's good to see Heath back.
Oh, baby!
Classic putting the roster on notice, can you? You just can't. Everyone has to put the roster on notice at some point. But fantastic. Can I just say a quick hello to Barry and Hakim? And Hakeem has turned up. Great to see you, buddy. Great to see you. But there you go. I think it was a good match. I enjoyed it. He's doing his thing, which was fantastic. We get the opening of Impact Wrestling. We get some great crowd shots to set up the opening segment of tonight's Impact with Scott D'Amore in the ring, thanking everyone for being so amazing at Slammiversary, blah, blah, blah. As he then, does sort of kind of like a card rundown type scenario. The Good Hands interrupt him in true, interrupt him, and in true, taking off his jacket and watch fashion, Scott D'Amore, was ready to fight, but we then get hit with they will not be facing him. Oh no, they'll be facing Sammy and Rich in the opening match of the night. This, of course, I think.
Good job, Scott. Good job.
Totally good job. That was swerve. Good hands were like, oh, and it was mayhem from the start. Sammy and Rich pick up the win over the Good Hands. Absolutely done. I thought it was a good opening match. It didn't last very long, but it was a good match. What did you think, Steve?
Yeah, like you say, it was a good match to start the night off. I still want to see more from Sammy and Rich together if they're going to be a team. It's one of those where I don't know. I still think I'm needing a bit more for them to click together. But it was a good match. It was a good match to start with. And again, I want to see more from the Good Hands, like to get wins under their belts to kind of get. They're a great team and a credible team. But if they're going to be a threat, then they need to get some wins under their belt.
I agree, mate. I agree. I'm actually disappointed in the way that the Good Hands seem to basically lose every outing at the moment. And I know that they've been giving them some good matches. They have been giving them some good matches, but it is a shame that they leave constantly, that they lose constantly.
Because you see the stuff Jason Hodge does on all the bonus content that we get every week. He's an absolutely amazing wrestler. But
He's
I think
fantastic.
that their big moment is going to come. It's just, after all their crap with Bully Ray, they're going to be on a little downward spiral for a while, and it's just going to brew up and brew up and brew up. And then when they hit that big moment, it's going to be something massive. Is they'll probably get a tag title shot from it, or they'll just get a huge win to get them over with the fans, possibly even. They'll probably still be possibly.
Go on, Joe.
They'll still be heel, but it'll still get them over with the fans regardless of what they do.
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
It could even be one of those
agree.
things
I
where
mean,
we see Moose and Myers win the belts, and then the good hands take it off them, kind of say, "Why did you drop us?" kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to see the good hands take it off for a team like ABC or Subculture or people like that. But yeah, like you say, if Moose and Myers get a win, then possibly, because I don't see Moose and Myers staying together long.
No,
but I guess I suppose you never know. I mean, they've got a match at this weekend, set of tapings. I guess you never know. Now we then get ABC backstage. They're not happy with the Rascalz at all. Even Scott has had enough. I mean, Scott's had enough as well, and he orders the Rascalz. Are you walking on crisps? It sounds like you're walking on crisps, but or chips if you're in the US. Anyway.
Yeah, could be chips if you.
Could be. Anyway, so orders them to leave the building tonight, so they cannot interfere in the tag title rematch with Subculture. Now, obviously, they get booted. Scott then sets up a loser leaves Impact match between Sticky Rice and Johnny Swinger. Which is interesting because who's going to lay down for who kind of scenario we've got going on here.
That was so brilliant.
We can talk about that a little bit later.
How that all came around.
It was a good segment.
The segment was
a really good segment. It was seamless. It was
like one win for Swinger.
It really was.
One win for Swinger, and then you get your title shot, and then Ziggy Dice has to go and push it too far, and then it just goes through. Oh, it was so good.
Brilliant.
I couldn't stop,
Absolutely brilliant.
Laughing.
Just a quick hello to Armin. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. But we then get a great interview between Gia Miller and Eric Young. Eric Young's talking about where he goes from here, Team Canada, the nostalgia of it all, and all that kind of stuff. But he's interrupted by, of course, Nick Aldis to set up the match that we're going to get tomorrow night on Impact Wrestling, EY versus Nick Aldis. Obviously, they've got a few things to settle. They've got their connection with regards to the main event Mafia, in the past, that kind of stuff, I believe. So I'm sure we're going to get a half-decent match, I guess, from those guys tomorrow night. We're certainly going to get a great match from EY, as always. But hopefully, EY is going to kick Aldis' ass right the way back to NWA, as far as I'm concerned. So that's set up tomorrow. We then get Jake Something gets his first one-on-one victory over Kevin Knight. Incredibly talented wrestler, like completely awesome, which was a fantastic battle between the two. And they're certainly guys, for the future, these two, both of them. But Jake gets the win, and he looks pretty good. He looks great, to be fair. He's lean. He's looking. I love the new haircut. The more kind of the more trimmed and smart looking beard, as opposed to the big old roughneck that he had before. I think he's looking good. He's looking solid. What were your thoughts on this one, Joe?
It was an incredible match, and I'm just still so glad to see Jake Something back after, it was amazing to see him come back at Slammiversary, and that blew me away so much. I did not expect that at all. My jaw dropped and hit the floor, and then I've been waiting to see Jake Something come back after his last match over a year ago. So to see him come back then and to see him get a win, it really shows me that Jake Something is here to stay for a lot longer than I had hoped. I thought. I thought he would be back
Yeah.
just like the Canada tapings, but hopefully he's here for the long run. And he looks amazing. You know, he just looks absolutely. He looked amazing beforehand, but I've watched his progress as when he's been away from Impact Wrestling. He's like Tom Hanford was saying, he's won belts everywhere he's gone. He's not just disappeared, done some training, changed his appearance, and come back to Impact Wrestling. He's gone away and he's absolutely dominated anywhere he's gone and beaten the top guys there, won the belts there. He's come back with a lot of momentum behind him, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him cross paths with Dina at some point, even if it's just a one-off match. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Norbert, yes, that's correct. Yes, Eric Young won his first TNA World Title from Magnus, so there's that history. So there's a lot going on there. Armin is talking about
it makes a bit more sense
Shelley.
to me now.
Yeah, definitely. Armin's talking about the potential Shelley versus Tanahashi match, which we might be getting in Multiverse. That should be pretty cool. But again, I'm not sure they're going to give the world title to a New Japan Pro Wrestling talent, but you never know.
Alex Shelley's called him out, so it's going to be up to Impact Wrestling to book the match now.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree with Bonus Baby there. I think Jace is looking pretty Hercules Hernandez. I like it, without the juice maybe, or with the juice, who knows. I think he's looking fantastic. So I'm so happy that Jake's back. We have talked about it in the past many times. I just wish that Chris was also back with us full time as well.
But Jake Chris, though, he's going across the all over the independent circuit and absolutely killing it everywhere. And he's got matches with Matt Cardona blowing the roof off everywhere he's going. Some of the stuff Jake Chris is doing is just amazing as well. And Fulton. I would love to see Fulton and Jake Chris sign a contract with Impact Wrestling, but the stuff they're doing elsewhere, they're just enjoying it so much now. I'm not disappointed, and bitter that they're not staying with Impact Wrestling, but the fact is that they're still on good terms with Impact regardless. Even Matt Cardona is on good terms with Impact Wrestling despite not coming back anytime soon.
Any of those guys could just suddenly turn up out of the blue, and that's the thing. But there you go. But Armin's saying that he doubt that they will too, but would be easy way for Impact to make some headlines and turn heads. Who would refuse to turn them? I get what you're saying, I do, but I just can't see it happening. But not after he gets his fabulous win over Nick Aldis and he beats Steve Macklin. I just can't see it. So we then go, Courtney Rush gets a much-needed victory over Savannah Evans, even after lots of interference from the Shawntourage. But Jodie Threat joins Jessica to even up the numbers, which was good. I think Jodie Threat looks great.
I thought Jodie Threat coming down and taking out Jay Vidal, that made me smile. That was so brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. There you go. Steve, apparently you're a wizard, mate.
Yeah. I am indeed.
You're walking. Yeah. He's just. To be fair, the walking down the street thing was just a green screen. He was there. Yeah. He was sat there the whole time.
Yeah.
He's on a treadmill.
Was indeed.
Yeah. He's on a treadmill.
It's just a treadmill.
Yeah. Even with the sound effects in the background as well, stepping on chips. But there you go.
Can do sound effects. Susie.
Yeah. I'm only fit from the chest up.
Is that right? It's good that you are certainly looking a lot better, buddy. You're definitely looking better. I'll tell you that now. You're looking a lot better. What about this Courtney Rush, though? What about this Courtney Rush match? I thought it was good to see Courtney getting a much-needed victory. Do you think?
Yes. It was good. It's a shame that Savannah Evans had to take another loss, but it was great to see Courtney Rush get the win.
Yeah.
But again, Savannah Evans loses because of shenanigans, right? You know what I mean? But it's just nice for Courtney to get a W on the board, I think.
It is, but I feel like the Shawntourage has had more losses recently than the Death Dolls.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Death Dolls need it, though. You know what I mean? I do. I think
yeah.
they need it at the moment. Because they've not really been in that sort of winning position. They bring in Jodie Threat. They win that that three-way.
Yeah. I
Didn't
don't
they?
really
Win
know
that
where they're going with
three-way.
the Death Dolls right now, though. Are they
They
going
gotta
for
go
tag
somewhere.
titles or are they
Everyone
kind of
loves
still
them.
going? Oh, they are.
Everyone
Yeah, it's
loves
just kind of
Death Dolls.
it's just kind of
So they gotta do
storyline wise.
something.
Where are they going?
I'm pretty certain that this version of Death Dolls is going to turn into Havoc and Rosemary again at some point.
Because I'm
Yeah, it will,
sick.
yeah.
I definitely think that's where it's going to go. By Bang for Glory, I think they're going to be Rosemary and Havoc again.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts, but I guess we'll see. We then get a fantastic video package celebrating Trinity gaining the Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary, and of course she proclaims that the dreams do come true, which I thought it was great. I think they're really doing a fantastic job with Trinity right now. They realize what they've got. They're pushing her. They're promoting her. She's doing a fantastic job of promoting Impact Wrestling. The right move was made. The right move was made to put the title on Trinity, 100%. Even though I'm a massive Deonna Purrazzo fan, I'd love to see Dana hold it forever. I understand
I am the f***ing greatest.
She is the greatest. There is no doubt in my mind that she's a fantastic wrestler. And after the match in an interview or promo, Trinity was bigging up Deonna Purrazzo, saying she was just like awesome, like one of the best she's ever faced, right? So, and she's faced some pretty badass wrestlers, so you got to think to yourself, okay, she's doing the right thing. She's bigging up the talent. She's promoting Impact all over the place. She's just been announced as the top female or the top woman in the business on the PWI, which I don't necessarily agree with all of that crap. But anyway, that's another story. But she's on there. Everyone's looking at it, seeing, oh, what the fuck, what's going on with Trinity? You know what I mean? Like, she's over at Impact Wrestling, winning Knockouts titles. I like it. I think it's exactly the right move. Exactly the right move for the company. Once that was done, though, it was followed by the Coven claiming they're coming back. They're coming for MK Ultra, or obviously Masha and Kelly, to get back the.
Taylor Wilder's got the best evil laugh ever.
Yes. And obviously she's coming back from what's theirs, those Knockouts tag titles. So we get all that being proclaimed, which is fantastic. So we know that the Coven aren't done, that they're coming back. I kind of like Mir. That would be a great match. Trinity versus Mick James, BFG, baby. Bang for Glory. That would be an amazing match. That would be like big money. It's been so long. We need to bring back a bit of hardcore country. Come on, Mickey, come home. That's what I say. So I think at least we know that we're not done with the Coven yet. We've still got a bit of legs in that. We then get Jonathan Gresham requesting a sit down with Tom Hannafan, and he claims he came to Impact because he was promised he would be able to face opponents one-on-one, fairly purely, rules in place, but instead he's getting no rules, so he does not know if it's the place for him. Now, for me, this is clearly a work. It's a heel turn now. I think we're getting a heel turn. So we know that this weekend at the set of tapings, we've got sorry, excuse me. We know we've got I think it was Mike Bailey, Gresham versus Myers and Moose, possibly. No, versus the Rascalz, wasn't it? So I think we may see Gresham turn on Mike Bailey.
All of them, really. All of them are good high-flying wrestlers, and that's the one thing that Gresham was pissed off about the most. Yeah. I thought it was a great interview too. And first, I did think, is Jonathan Gresham actually walking out? When I first watched it, I watched it again last night. The whole of Impact Wrestling, and then I thought, no, this is a heel turn, because I remember that he did sign a bit of a long-term contract at the start of the year. So for him to just walk out now as well would be stupid.
He signed. I think he signed a 12-month deal. I think So he signed a 12-month deal. So he's here until the end of the year, regardless. So it's just where they take it. But I have a funny feeling that this could lead to a new championship on Impact Wrestling. I've got a feeling that we could see an introduction of some kind of Pure Rules championship introduced.
Yeah.
Now, what they'll call it, I don't know, but it'll be, I mean, maybe we could see the grand championship come back, but not the same rules. It could be under these, maybe under the Pure Rules, the whole shake of the hand, the whole rope breaks and all that kind of stuff. Maybe something similar. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hey, Norris. Nice to see Norris is in the house.
Yeah, welcome.
And Norbert, I agree with that. They are giving, Doug. He's definitely got that kind of Doug Williams vibes about him. You're talking about Gresham, I assume. And Norris is saying that Impact is doing a good job of putting things on the show that make you want to keep tuning in. And I agree, 100%. That's what a good wrestling show should do. All the time. We then get Dirty Dango defeating Santino with some help from a mystery helmet-wearing person at ringside. This turns out to be, of course, the returning from the dead Johnny Bravo. We've got a bit of a theme coming on, haven't we? We've got a bit of a theme here.
Eric Young comes as well. Eric Young technically wasn't killed.
No, but Johnny Bravo
Eric Young gave like an interview about the whole thing recently. I've got it on my Twitter feed. I'll put the link in it on the YouTube comments for it as well. He talked a bit about his what happened. He had a major input on how he gets written off of TV. So how he comes back in was really Eric Young's idea and things like that. So it wasn't like some random thing that other people were throwing together. Eric Young knew what he was doing when he was writing himself off, and if he had to come back in. So it was. And there's like it's like a proper video interview in this article as well, but I haven't watched that yet because I
agree.
Well,
it's good to see Johnny Bravo back in the Impact Zone. Obviously now he's aligned himself with Dirty Dango.
That's going to be interesting.
Just a quick response to Bonus Baby there. It would have to be a redesigned belt anyway, because the old belt was designed around a 6-sided ring. Yeah. It was an octagon, wasn't it? It was a whatever
hexagon.
Hexagon. So it would have to be redesigned because we don't have that anymore. But anyway, good to see Johnny Bravo back in some kind of role within the company. I think that's great.
I can see these being hilarious.
Going to be pleased.
I think they could be fun.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, they'll be the new Swinger and Ziggy Dice.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah.
And again, I like what you're saying there, Mir. You're right. Yeah, he was cosplaying a little bit as a fourth member of the Shield. But issues between Edwards and Kazarian seem to be continuing. And I'm telling you, we are definitely going to get, at some point, whether it be a special, the 1000th episode, Bound for Glory, we are going to get the Edwards, Alicia, and Eddie versus
I'm pretty sure,
and Tracy Brooks. I'm telling you,
I'm pretty sure Tracy Brooks has already requested a match with Alicia Edwards, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get them two 1-on-1 at one of the Chicago tapings as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's going to happen, mate. It's happening, and we're going to get to where it needs to be. We're going to get there. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. But I
hope they have a street fight mixed tag match. See if they can actually beat that match that Davey Richards and Angelina Love had with Eddie and Lish.
Yeah, I honestly think that's where it's going. I honestly believe that's been the goal from the start, was to get Tracy Brooks back in the wing, even if it's just for a pay-per-view at some point. I think that is where it was going the whole time. So we then get obviously Subculture defeating ABC after the Rascalz appear ringside, causing shenanigans, the distraction again with I think, if I remember right, I think Trey took out Ace Austin and then went to distracted the ref, and that's how that's how they ended up getting the win, which is a shame because the match itself was fantastic. And it's a shame that Culture didn't get the win for themselves, if that makes
But
sense.
then
They
that
got
adds the
win
heat
through-
to the Rascalz as well, so it works out. And
Of course it does. Of
Yeah.
course it does. But I'm just thinking from a subculture point of view.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a bit of
now,
a-
obviously, but them being British, I'm all over subculture. They need to keep
Yeah.
them titles. But I want to see
just
them win
thinking as
cleanly.
champions as well. You know, you want to see them get a good clean win as well
Yes,
to make them
exactly.
credible.
Exactly, Norbert. Where we're security, I agree. Where we're security at that point, I think maybe we need to look at getting some UK-based security involved.
oh no,
Just subculture
I
at
think
this point.
getting any UK sort of authority figure involved would be pretty bad to see, and all the shit that's happening over here at the moment with the police and security.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Okay,
think it's
so
good.
we're
I think
then
it's good what Impact have
informed.
done as well, though.
I agree. I think it's going well. We are informed that Impact have not had any update on Chris Sabin's status after this past weekend's Slammiversary X Division Championship match. Terrible news that there isn't an update on this one. But, you know, what can you do? I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Chris Sabin, I believe, is going to be there this weekend, so I'm sure there's something going to go down at the set of tapings we got going on. So who knows where we go with that. Obviously, we've already talked about what happened at Slammiversary. I'm still a huge fan of Leo. I love what I love him.
I love this match!
Now, either this was a story and it was written that way, which I think it possibly was, actually. I have a feeling it was. Or they're making the best of the situation. Where we go with it. Because either way, we need to have Leo Rush versus Chris Sabin, because that would be a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? So
I mean,
that's what I think
at the end of we do have Kushida set up at least, though, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. No, I agree.
You know, but I do think we will get Chris Sabin at some point. But it's just a case of, let's say, I mean, it's very odd that you hear no news at all.
Yeah, which is what I'm saying. Is some kind of story. There's definitely a story because he's been a bit quiet on socials as well. I think other than the fact that I saw him tweet about him being sorry, that was like literally the next day though, about what went down. Other than that, he's not really said a lot on social media.
He has said he's coming to Chicago.
He has said that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty much all he said. So it's a shame. But guys, listen. Following his return at Slammiversary, Josh Alexander is here to provide us with an update on his condition. Alexander says that when he left back in April, he promised that he would come back better than ever. He admits that he had some doubts while he was recovering, but when he saw Steve Macklin win the Impact World title with Rebellion, it motivated him to work harder than ever. Alexander announced that he is 100% cleared for in-ring competition, but he's not just here to compete. He wants to reclaim the Impact World title that he never lost. Now, we then get Impact World Champion Alex Shelley goes face-to-face with Alexander, brings up their first meeting in which Alexander was victorious. Shelley wants to prove that he has what it takes to defeat the walking weapon. Shelley accepts Alexander's challenge when X Division champion Leo Rush interrupts. Rush says that if he wants to become Impact World Champion, all he has to do is exercise option C. Ultimate X winner and holder of a future X Division title opportunity, Kushida, then hits the ring. He's out next. That there's no option C until Rush has faced him with that title on the line. Do you know what? Right, I think it's great that Kushida's coming out and speaking English. Like, I know it's not perfect, but he's giving it a go, and I love that. I think that is great. Out of nowhere, Bully Ray, Moose, Brian Myers storm the ring, attacking Alexander, Shelley, and Kushida. Bully wants Rush to join them, but he hesitates and decides to bow out and leaves these guys in the ring.
Not my problem,
now-
guys. You deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that's the best thing for Rush to do. Stay out of that crap. Just do your thing.
Yep.
Now, I believe there was sound issues on AXSTV and Fight Network where apparently during this particular segment, which blew up all over Facebook and stuff, everyone went crazy. But Impact did the right thing. They basically released the snippet of this section on social media. Like I said, there was no issues with it at all on YouTube, and I'm assuming there wouldn't have been on Impact Plus either. So I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure.
No, but they got the whole segment of Josh Alexander's from when Josh Alexander was in the ring through to the end of the show on YouTube and on Impact Plus now. They did it the night after, and
they literally did it like within. Well, they did it literally. I think they did it within 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then
they did it within 20 minutes. It was up and done.
Yeah, that's how you do. That's how you get from that addressed and sorted. I think AEW had some problems like that recently, but didn't do anything about it till like 3 days later. And even then, they didn't tell anyone that it's all been addressed. You can view it here, whatever. They just did it and expected everyone to know where to go and see what
Yeah, no, totally.
Scott's just showing how professional he is.
Exactly. Anna's saying that Philo is dropping access at the end of this month. I don't know. I mean, I assume Philo is a TV network provider. I don't know. I guess. And it's nice to see Courtney joined us. Hello, my lovely.
Hello, Courtney.
But
how are we doing?
The main thing is that Impact are addressing the problems. They're dealing with them. They're not just ignoring it, which is great. And hopefully we won't get any more problems moving forward. Now, guys, before we go on, right, I'm talking to the chat now. I'm talking to everyone watching this show live right now, right? We need you guys to hit the like button, right? We need you to hit that thumbs up button. Really important. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, we need you to subscribe, share the show to help us out, move up those rankings, get more people seeing the show. We need more and more people seeing the show. So if you guys could do that right now, hit the thumbs up, share it, let everyone know that we're live. I would really, really appreciate that. Now, digital media exclusive match this week. Ace Austin versus Rich Swann versus Jason Hotch. Insane Wrestling Revolution. What a match. Absolutely incredible match. I am not going to give the winner away because I want you guys to go and watch it.
It was bloody good.
It's been a bangorama.
It is bloody good. Amazing. Like I said, I've said you got to see just Austin and Rich Swann have got so much history together. They just worked so well together, and it was just such an incredible match. A really decent 15-minute match. The only downside to it really was the commentator was really monotonous.
That's trouble, actually. With some of these sort of kind of like independent promotions, the commentary isn't great. On some of them, not all of them. Some of them.
You do sometimes watch it, and you do realise how much a step the commentary in Impact has gone up when you sometimes watch some of the independent wrestlers.
I agree.
Wrestling promotions. You don't realise how much a change in the commentary has made.
Yeah. I was just sitting there thinking, I wish Matthew Raywell was
fantastic. I know.
I was just sitting there thinking, I wish Matthew Raywell was calling this match.
Yeah, definitely. Now, it's interesting, actually, because I had a conversation with someone on Twitter this week where they were talking about, like, Matthew Raywell could be going. He's been, going on about having a few independent bookings towards the end of the year and all that kind of stuff. He does independent bookings all the time. He commentates for, like, 2 or 3 other shows. Like, you
Yeah.
know, so it's not like, I mean, which is why he's not fully signed to Impact Wrestling, because he does a few other things as well. Now, you know, but we have Tom. Tom is fully committed, fully signed to Impact Wrestling. And I don't see Matt going anywhere. I just think that, you know, he's able to do other things. So
Yeah,
he's happy to do it, you know,
he's taking bookings for
Wrestling
the UK
Revolver.
to wrestle for
he just
for
used
wrestling.
Wrestling Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wanting to do other things, and I think it's fantastic for him. And I'm sure that once he's got all of these other little things out of his system, because he's like, he promotes Impact like crazy.
Yeah.
Right, he's a big Impact man. I'm sure that eventually, if they want him, if the money's on the table, he'll take it. He'll sign. He'll stay. But I don't think he's going anywhere anyway. But I think both of them together do a fantastic job.
Yeah, they bounce off each other so well.
They do.
It's so great.
I think so. I think they're good. And to be fair, I'll tell you, I think Gia Miller's doing a great job as well when she does the BTI one.
Definitely.
Commentary. She goes on with Tom. She does great as well. So it's not like if he was to not be around, there wouldn't be other people that could do a great job with Tom, because Tom's so professional that anyone can pretty much work with him. So it's all good. Nothing to worry about. But anyway, we've then got the BTI match this week, which is a 3-way. It's a tag match between Joe Hendry and Yuya Uemura versus Kenny King and Sheldon Jean. I'm loving Sheldon Jean. Do you guys like Sheldon Jean?
I do. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah. I still think him and Kenny King would make a great tag team together.
Yeah, I think so. And I cannot wait to see this match. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good match. You know, I really am. I agree, Anna. I think she's fantastic. I think Gia's fantastic on commentary. So I think it could be the future. We could see her turn up on commentary. We could see somebody else turn up backstage possibly. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Jade might do a lot more backstage, and Gia Miller will go on to commentary.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There could be there's definitely other options out there. We then move on to Impact Wrestling tomorrow night. Obviously, we've got the loser leaves Impact match between Swinger and Dice. You know, obviously the information is already leaked out that Sticky Rice is finished up with Impact, so I guess it's going to be a Swinger win. He's also obviously going to get his champion. He needs to get his win to then get his World Championship match, which is going to be interesting. That one sort of kind of pans out, but you never know, I guess. So that's going to be interesting. We've got
Shelley's
Giselle
gonna
Shaw
kill
versus...
you. Shelley's gonna kill you.
Yeah. Giselle Shaw versus Masha Slamovich. Whoa, that should be a good match. Like Giselle is a hard bitch, so I think this is going to be a really, really good match. I'm looking forward to this one, big time. Then also got Trinity. Now I don't get this one. I'm sure we're going to find out how this one sort of kind of ends up happening. But we've got Trinity, Danny Luna from Subculture versus the Coven in a tag match. I don't know how Trinity and Danny have got together, so it'll be interesting to see how they make that happen. We've also got Moose Myers versus Kushida and Alex Shelley. So that's Moose Myers versus the Time Splitters, or whatever they're called?
Time Machine.
Time Machine. Okay, time them. And then I'm assuming the main event is Eric Young versus Nick Aldis. Nick Borders.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick Borders. But
to a degree, I guess.
It could be Moose Myers, Kushida, Alex Shelley. But I have a feeling it's going to be Eric versus Nick as the main event. We also are aware that Nick Aldis is now finished up with the company, so hoping, fingers crossed, Eric Young sees Nick Borders off in winning fashion. So yeah, I think we've got a good card. We've got a really good card there tomorrow night, starting on BTI. To be fair, I think that's going to be a great match, and I think all the matches set up are going to be good. Is there potentially going to be another one? I don't think there is. I don't. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's Swinger Dice.
You can go too heavy sometimes, can't you?
Swinger Dice. I don't think it'll last too long.
No.
but you never know.
I'd love Swinger just to hit Dice with a really heavy move and then pin him 50 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just get the 50 wins straight there.
Yeah. That's it. You're right, Mir. One more week, and I will not have to mention Nick Aldis ever again. I tried. I really did. I tried with him. But he's just so boring.
Yep.
Well, of course, everyone that leaves loses. Simon, they you know, it's just the way it happens, isn't it? They
You
have
put
to
someone over on your way out.
Of course you do. That's tradition. That's the way it works. You know, you can't have Eric come in and then lose to a guy that's then on his way out. That would suck. So yeah. So there you go. But guys, that's just about all I think we've got time for this week. But don't forget to tune in to the TNI Impact review show tomorrow night, live on YouTube and Twitch, directly after Impact is aired on AXSTV, the Fight Network in Canada, Impact Plus, YouTube Insiders. I believe it's available on DAZN as well. So make sure you guys tune in to the Impact review. That'd be great. Please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content. Obviously, when you sign up, and of course, join our Discord where we pretty much talk about everything Impact and wrestling related, also movies and other sports, and even other promotions. All TNI shows are available. All you listen on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are there. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe, when you're not in the void, obviously?
You can follow me on Twitter at JoeKemptySpace. You can jump onto Facebook or Twitter, look for #EmptySpace, #IntoTheVoid. Or if you want to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humor, look for #DailyGiggle. But approach with an open mind and you just might keep your sanity.
And Steve, what about yourself, my friend?
You can find me over on Twitter, or whatever it's called now, at SimplySteve311. Or occasionally on the Discord, the link below. Yeah, over on those two places.
Well, there you go. And of course, don't forget, if you want to follow the Bison, I am available to talk about all of Impact related stuff, all my wrestling stuff on, of course, Twitter at LordBison45. Get over there, guys. Give me a follow. And also, don't forget, if you're not already following Total Nonstop Impact, you can follow us at We Talk Impact on Twitter, Facebook, the Instagram, and wherever you want to find us. That's how you find us, at We Talk Impact. But, guys, listen, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us that thumbs up. Very important. Consider hitting that subscribe button, and don't forget to give the bell a tickle, squeeze, and of course a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from the TNI UK and US teams each and every week. With all that said, I've been Bison, and they have been, of course, the Joker and the man simply known as Steve, and this has been episode 143 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care, guys.
We're Bison! We are